All right, let me get this guy going so I can do my... And not now. How you doing, all powerful? Happy Friday. We made it through a rough, well, not a rough week, but a very interesting week, weather-wise. I know it's about to get a little worse over here in Florida. I feel bad for anybody that's, enduring that cold snap that's going on. Stop doing that. I don't know what that is. What's going on, Gabe? Hey, I wanted to let you know, I'm so sorry about this morning. I was going to start streaming at 8 or 5 o'clock your time. I unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I am in a workout challenge, and I had to get an early morning workout done this morning, so I had to push my stream back. I'm trying to coordinate all of this stuff, so it's a lot, and this is the first week of me getting into it, so it's been a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, yesterday was my first day. What's up? Well, Melly, I just want to let you know, I'm going to show you this so you can see what's coming your way, but that's the mock-up for your Black Cat. I know it's on the Transformers cover, but that's what I had as far as like a one I already had set up. But it gives me an idea of how it's going to get going. So I'm going to work on her probably later today, so that way I can just be a lot more focused and I can just get things done. So like I said, the goal is to knock that out between today and tomorrow, along with the RC. Obviously starting on that one first, and then knocking out RC next. I like a good challenge. Black Cat I haven't drawn in a while. RC I have never drawn, so this will be a first one. But thank you for the support. I definitely appreciate that. And whenever you get a chance, go ahead and send me that list so I can take a look and see what you got book wise. Okay, so this morning, let's see, what do we got on tap this morning? I don't remember. I know I got to finish this Nightcrawler. That's number 1. And I started on another one yesterday. I gotta remember what it was, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Okay, that's fine. A little later's fine. No rush. No rush at all. Whenever you can. Trust me, I got a lot on my plate right now, so you take your time. I understand. Okay. Let me. Oh, this is not good. Give me a second. I gotta go find my binder because I don't have that with me. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, so binder wise, let's see who we got on tap for today. Like I said, we finished up Nightcrawler. Did Moon Knight last night, or yesterday, Magneto. So I have Omega Red, Nightcrawler, and Mantis. Those are the 3 that I have on tap for today. So here is Omega Red. There's Omega Red. And then we have Mantis, but I got to change her hand. I don't like the positioning of her one hand, so I'm going to change that. But there's Mantis. So those are our ones that we have on tap. And if we can get to some other ones today, we're going to go and hustle and knock that out. But we'll get through them as quick as we can. What's up, CB Flight? Welcome, welcome. M Dog again, welcome. All right, so Nightcrawler's up first. So let's get his color palette. I know he's black. We got some blue in there and red and white. Those are our main colors. Don't send on that. And I need something in the background. Okay. Take off the rings. All right. So we got, let me make sure. Let me do it. Let me move this over just a hair. There we go. I'm going to try to get a good time lapse of this too while we're doing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to punch in the red first. So red for this guy to start is going to be a Copic. And this Copic is R27. I typically like to have my colors going either from left to right. So this time the shadow side is going to be on the left and the color and the light source is going to be coming from the right. But we're getting through, I think the last count that I checked yesterday, I think I was at 85 of the marble cards completed. So we're there. I know that the month is coming to an end here over the weekend. So if I really push hard, I can wrap them all up. I have all the mock-ups done minus like 4 of them. So I'm trying to cut through these. As long as my weekend's not too crazy, I should be able to at least get all the ink part done. And then when I get back on here on Monday, I can just start knocking out all the color on all of them. And then later today, I got to do an order for Blick. And I got to order up some new Copic markers and new colored pencils. Because this is my only blue that's working. And this is not even my Copic blue. And I don't have any refills. So I'm just going to go ahead and do all that order. I was fortunate enough this past Christmas, to get a couple gift cards to order from Blick. So I'm definitely going to utilize those and, get some stuff I need. Yeah, I try to ask my family to invest in my art stuff versus buying just random stuff. Okay. This glove is actually supposed to be white, not blue. I don't know why I did that. It was a mistake. All right, so look at that side. So, Gabe, how did your cast go yesterday? I got home very late, so I didn't get a chance to jump on it. Yeah, last night was a rough one because I had my class last night, and I had a lot of students that needed a little extra TLC because they're intro students, so that some of them needed a lot of help with their stuff. Not that that's a bad thing, because you rather have those students that are struggling because it makes the class more interesting. But if you have to get somewhere, that's when it becomes a little bit of a struggle. Yeah, that's the bad part about, well, not bad part, but that's the one part about me being a teacher. I really want my students to get the full experience. So I try to give them as much of my knowledge as I can. So sometimes I'll go a little bit over on my classes. Especially when it comes to these composition classes, I gotta be more aware because I only teach composition a couple times during the semester, but I always go over because I feel it's a very important skill to know. This is going to be a good set, but I think DC is going to be fun. A lot of the characters I have in there, some of them are a little more obscure, but some of them um, they're new. But what I am going to do, kind of save myself a little bit of time and speed things up, is I was fortunate enough to start this DC 100 set years ago, so I already have like renderings of certain characters and certain poses, so I'm going to reuse those. I know it's a little bit of a cheat. However, I think it's a smart way of reutilizing artwork. You know, and it's nothing bad. I mean, it's still my work, but a lot of these pieces nobody's ever seen, so nobody's ever going to know the difference. All right, so let's get his hair going here. Okay, let's see here. I need to find my chisel tip. That's my one. Is that? Yes. I like using this chisel tip. Okay. So get some of this hair in here. Yeah, so what I do is I'm starting to make these speed vids. So that way I'm just going to do a culmination or it's going to be a collab, not a collab, but a collection of all the work that I've done for the week. So I can kind of see where things went. Even though I know what I did because I have the physical cards there, it's kind of cool to see, you know, it being done. Oh, there we go. That looks good. So now I can come in here with this guy, like darken up some of these areas. Yeah, that works. I'm going to put a little bit of I'm going to use this guy here. Oh, cool. It's the jam song. I'm going to put a little bit of this blue on the sword. Pull that blue out of there. And get rid of that. See, I just went straight into my work today without cleaning things up, but that's okay. Well, we're good. Okay, yeah, we'll put the blue on this side too. Yeah, so he's looking really good. I'm happy with him. And we just add a little bit of yellow to his swords. Grab this other yellow. I don't know if anybody's a wrestling fan, but it's going to be a good weekend this weekend. We got Royal Rumble. I mean, even though I know wrestling's fake and all that stuff, it's still fun. It's like guy drama, right? You know, it's like watching any kind of drama, but it's sports drama. And it's kind of cool, like, because, you know, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, kind of seeing some of my old favorite wrestlers coming back into play. So I also want to see some of the newer people. Like I've been championing the fact of being able to see Paige back in WWE. I know she'll never be where she was, you know, as far as like her athletic ability, because, you know, she hurt herself. I mean, you got, when you have a very big athletic injury like that, especially when it's your neck, and somebody says you may not be able to do X again, you're a lot more careful in your decision making as far as, you know, what things you do. You know, there's a girl that's doing WWE right now. She does this move where she does a reverse backflip, and she does a DDT to people. I mean, the amount of pain that goes into doing something like that, especially if you miss, because her move is so slightly off that if she was to snag somebody, she would hurt them, but she's putting more injury and more damage on herself. Kind of like what Randy Orton does to himself. I mean, Randy Orton's been knocked out multiple times in his return contract. You know, just because, you know, he'll do that RKO and it's a lot of stress on his spine. But, you know, again, as an athlete, you got to be a little more aware. So your contracts are a little bit different. And you're not going to take, you know, risks because you want to not be paralyzed. You know, case in point, like Edge, when he went to AEW, he goes back, and then shortly after, he ends up breaking his leg. You know, doing a move. I think it was off of a cage. You know, and that man is, I think he's in his mid to late 40s. So you got to be careful. So when I'm hoping to see these wrestlers, I mean, it's more like fan service than anything else. I'm not expecting Paige to come back in full, you know, wrestling schedule. You know, Brie Bella, no, it's a Brie, no, it's Nikki Bella. She's in limited. Trish Stratus was in limited. You know, they used her when they needed her to pop up. Again, it's fan service. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I just got to figure out how I'm going to be able to watch it because I'm not paying $20 or $30 per month to get ESPN. So I got to figure out a way to get around that. Hopefully, I can find somebody that's streaming it somewhere because I'm not spending that money at all. It's not happening. I mean, I very much resort to the fact that I am trying to downgrade some of the things that I have because I spend a lot of money on, you know, streaming services, but I buy specific ones. You know, like Disney Plus makes sense because I can get Disney Plus and I get Hulu. Eventually, it's just going to go straight to Disney Plus, but as of right now, value wise, I get more out of that. And Netflix, I definitely get a lot out of. You know, the value of Netflix is not so much the original stuff; it's the stuff that they acquire, that they license. And international licensing is huge for them. Like I will probably downsize my cable even more once the whole Netflix and um, WB thing happens, because that's going to be a huge merger, and that's going to open the door for, you know, a lot of things to happen. Yeah, big things to happen soon. So it's a good time to be a fan of TV and stuff like that. All right, so he's looking good. The only thing I'm going to do is I want to put like a smoky kind of color going on with him. So he's got, because he poofs and he can teleport himself. So I want to have that like teleporty kind of shadow going on him. So I'm going to add this purple halo around him. So that way we got this, like, he looks like he's poofing into place. That's a cool little effect. You just found out you have a new hire. Okay. So we have that, and then just to kind of accentuate it a little bit, to make it pop a little bit more, we got to add a little bit of color into it. I need a lighter pink. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to add a little bit of that pink here onto the edge, and then we're going to add it into this. That's how we do that. That makes him look really cool. So I think that came out really, really good. I'm very happy with him. So now we're going to sign this guy. And he is donezo. Another one in the book. So there's Nightcrawler. That didn't take very long at all. Okay. Now let's go into some Omega Red. Now Omega Red's a little bit, oh, I wouldn't even say a little bit. There's a lot going on in this one. Okay. So we want to make sure that we get a good reference for Omega Red. That's a must before we even start going into anything. Excuse me. Sorry, I gotta just find something that's gonna really hit hard. I don't like that song, so not for this morning. I need something a little bit more poppy. Trying to get away from these trailers. Just waiting patiently. Let's see here. So sorry, guys. I'm getting there. Because I might do something different. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'll put a movie in the background so that way I can just listen. So bear with me for a sec. Still dealing with sinus stuff. All right, so got that guy there. And let me turn that off. Let me go here and here. That's good. All right, so let's go and grab. No, I didn't. I haven't watched Wonder Man yet. I did not get a chance yesterday. Yesterday was my long teaching day, so that was definitely not in the cards. I'm going to try to make it part of my stuff to do this weekend. I really have to be engaged to watch something like that. I don't want to half-ass it. What's new? Oh wow, coming out with a new Baki. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Definitely want to see some Mission Impossible. That looks good. Independence Day is a good one. And they're getting me all hyped up for the Olympics. Night Court. Apollo. Ooh, my friend might have done some stuff for that. I do need to watch Rip. That's something on my list. No, this makes sense. I'm gonna watch Casino Royale. Better movie. Very cool. See, I'm telling you, you need to do a dual stream, like for real. So when you do that, when you do your YouTubes, just get your stuff on Whatnot, and you can simulcast it to YouTube, and you'll be surprised how much more viewership that you have. Now, yes, you have to monitor both, but honestly, I think that's the better route to take because you're getting like a 2-for-1. And the cool part is once you set it up, it automatically goes straight to your YouTube. Your YouTube turns on, and people can watch it through there. So you don't lose any of the people that you've had on your YouTube channel. Welcome back, M Dog. Yeah, I would definitely say, do it that way. Again, I'm just, it's all about having a lot of different outlets for people to be able to find you. And you're already doing the work, so why not put it on that platform as well? My next thing that I'm going to do, like I'm purchasing some equipment so that way I can have a mount in front of me, so that way I can see all three of my channels. So I can see um my Whatnot, I can see YouTube, and I'll be able to see TikTok. So that way, if I have people on any of those, I can still be able to communicate with everybody. Because different platforms work different ways. For example, like TikToks is all about engagement. So you have to be actively talking to people, getting them to engage with you in order for it to really kick in place. I don't know if I really like that design. I think I'm gonna go old school design. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm not sure on that part. I haven't checked on that yet. But worst case scenario, what you could do is you can have two. So you have your tablet recording, so that's showing whatnot, and then you can have a separate, like have your iPhone, doing your YouTube cast. So that way you're able to get both. So if you have to separate them, you can do it that way. That's the workaround. Oops, let me go back here. That's what I didn't do. Yeah, so I'm just trying to come up with options for you because I mean it's all about, like I said, it's about engagement and getting your content out there. I see what you do as a perfect opportunity for people to learn. So why wouldn't we want to put you out there? I support good people. I support good talent too. Okay, there's his tentacle. It's coming out of his arm. So I'm gonna do number one. Let's see if I can drink it here, and I don't. We'll get it in a minute. Yeah, I mean, at certain times, I'm like, I don't like to hustle, and honestly, I don't really too much care about the YouTube stuff because it's not going to make. I am not focusing on it to make me money. There's a whole mess of stuff that you have to do in order to make it work, and I'm just not into that game. But I mean, that's different. I mean, you might be in a different world, like as far as like what you want to do with it. Like on this, the sales are just a bonus for me. Whereas the learning aspect and the community involvement, that's important to me. That's the better part. All right. That's that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a goal for whatnot. I will definitely not lie about that. I definitely have a goal for whatnot. Um, the the um, the YouTube, I just know that there's so much harder of a method to actually get income from them. Like it literally is a game, whereas this is literally it's like an artist alley, or buy you can get stuff of any interest. So they've been able to take like an artist alley effect along with, I would say, almost like an Etsy, and put them all in one spot where you're able to get to live stream so you can see how people are doing things. They can sell you stuff, watch the process and all that in all in one spot. So from a marketing perspective, this works a lot better. What is this? Okay, cool. There's an opportunity. That's what that is. Well, you can record your live. Yeah, you can record your live. So when you do the initial setup, they have a spot on there. So you definitely want to have your computer available to you to do this. Um, you're going to use a program. It's called OBS, and basically it's a free program. You can get the higher versions of it, but you can just get the standard version. And what that will do is it'll screen record what you're doing, and you can set it up to for the selling part of it, so it's a little bit more involved on that end. But it will literally record your show for you, and they actually walk you through the entire process on how to do that. Again, they're always just trying to they're trying to set up a market that way it's successful for everybody. Even mom and dads could literally jump on here and do their thing. That's how much easier they're making these systems. And you add that with YouTube, there are people out there that are walking people through methods on how to do certain things. Yeah, so StreamYard is a little different. StreamYard is like OBS, but it allows you to work with other streaming services, and it tends to work a little bit better than this traditional OBS. Yeah, when I'm doing my when I have to do my what is it? My lectures, my tutorials for my students, I use OBS. So it'll record when I'm walking through. So a lot of people will use PowerPoint or a program like that to do theirs, and they'll do the record. Well, if I need to go through multiple parts on my computer, it's recording my screen. I could do a voiceover, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I have a microphone set up where on that microphone I can plug it right into my USB-C, and it's a lapel mic, so it'll record as I'm going through there. And then just to give my stuff a little bit an added touch, um, I'll go into Adobe Premiere and I'll just do some more editing. What's going on, Mitt? Welcome to the stream, sir. Or ma'am. Okay. You don't have the step? Oh, okay. Well, if you got to go, I mean, I wish you the best. Well, I appreciate the confidence in that. I'm just one of many. Honestly, you're a master in your own right. You definitely have a skill I don't have. That's why I'm always trying to learn new things because I don't want to be a master of one. I want to know a lot of different things. I mean, that's one thing I tell my students. I mean, why would you want to just know one thing? I mean, it's better to know a lot of different things. Be a multi-trick pony. Let me see if I can get this hair to work the way I want it to. It's not so much a confidence thing as it is a comfortability because I've done it for so long. So it's the same kind of skill that you have when you're doing your watercolor, right? So when you're doing your watercolor, you don't really have to think so hard as like somebody like myself that's new to it. You already got that built-in confidence because you've done it for so long. It's like second nature. I admire people that can, just not even have to do this pencil step. They can just go straight to pen and ink and they have that confidence. That's because they've done it for so many times and they're just confident. Just got to get this one shape for a shoulder. Well, there's waterproof inks. So I'm thinking it's Winsor Newton's got some waterproof inks that you can use. I can't I don't use them because again I don't do waterproof. I don't do that stuff, but I know that there are waterproof inks that don't do that. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness, that would have been great. That would have been fun. What's up, Switcher? Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have been on that one. I really was hoping to get up on that. Yeah, my days, I thought were going to get a little bit less busy, but for some reason they're getting more busy. This is not supposed to be my busiest time of the year, but it's starting to turn out that way. But I'm not griping about it because I'd rather be busy than bored. Like today, I got to do this, and then I have a couple of website jobs I have to do. Because I got to figure out a couple of problems for these websites that I've been given. One I've been working on for like 2 weeks. I've been trying to figure out this one lady's problem, and I can't figure it out. It's pissing me off. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, last night I had late class, and then I had church um, a church thing that I had to go to last night, or a membership meeting. And I was even late to that. No, definitely not Mormon. That I can tell you for sure. We are a non-denominational church. However, this church is in its growing stage, so they're trying to get it set up where more people are actively helping out in the church instead of just the typical people. They're trying to get more people that are part of the church that are more, that are there more actively to come out and help out and trying to get their input to make the church system a little bit better. And my wife and I are a lot more vocal on things than a lot of other people. So we try to make effort, especially now, to make it a little bit more comfortable and make it a little bit more normal because unfortunately, when it comes to the church stuff, sometimes um, the people that are at the top sometimes are not as in tune with the things that are happening with their members. Like you might not know that certain things are being said in the services that could be harmful to your members. And you're supposed to be bringing people together. So why are you saying things that might impact that ability? And you might not be doing it on purpose, but I think just the awareness of it is important. So, like I said, my wife and I are very active in letting people know, hey, look, you need to be very aware of these problems and be actively trying to fix them. Or, better or processes that might make things a little bit easier for people. Oh, that's cool. That's a little different. See people thinking outside the box. Like I wouldn't even say church, but I would say what is it? Like fellowshipping. My son uh fellowships with this group of people that are like highlighted at his college. So every Saturday every Saturday football game, they'll be painted up and, featured on ESPN or whatever channel that's broadcasting the games. And they met each other through, systems like that, right? So there is a benefit to that. All right, this one's looking way better. Okay. Where's my 2? I guess we can use the 3. That'll be fine. Yeah, it's just finding ways that work. What kind of borders were you doing? Like these? See, I mean, just now you're starting to see like those little touches that you never would have thought of putting in there before. They make a difference. Like when I teach my students, it's all about these little touches that people don't even realize are being done. People are thinking deeper now into how to create things. So if you think about it, like for example, Taylor Swift and her team. Now you might not like Taylor Swift, however, her methods of being able to set things up and get people excited and creating puzzles and games for her fans, that is smart. So she'll put little things inside of her albums, inside of her songs, and that's just genius. And she'll put it in her designs, in her colors, and it's done all on purpose. And when you do things like creating a unique border, that is cool for a lot of people. A lot of people will see that and be like, "Wow, that's pretty dope." Okay, so Omega Red is looking good. Got all of his color in place. And I'll thicken up the lines when I wrap the color up on this guy. So let's pop in the red first, and I gotta refill my red. Here's my red refill. Mm-hmm. Look forward to the picture. Oops, I almost messed up and dropped ink on myself. What? He's in the Bahamas. So when you're doing these refills, never, ever, ever do it over your art. Because if you mess up, there's no fixing. And I will say, if you use Copic ink, make sure you have like some Clorox wipes or some alcohol nearby, because this ink is very sticky. Number 2, make sure that when you refill it, don't instantly use your marker on your stuff, because it will push too much ink out, immediately after you start. So you want to, because it's oversaturated, so you want to go back put it on like a separate sheet like this, get the initial ink out, and then you'll have a much smoother amount of ink coming out of the marker. Okay. That's done. And next we're going to do the gauntlet. Okay. And we'll grab the other gauntlet. We will add white highlights to his gauntlet to give it a little bit more of a shine. But again, we'll do that afterwards. What's up, Jose? How you doing? Jose, you all ready for this weekend? The cold snap that's coming your way? You are going to get hit hard. I heard it's supposed to be really bad on your side. Oh, really? Oh, man, I'm gonna have to start going back to my late night stuff. So when I can't sleep, I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna jump on there. I've kind of trained myself not to get on. So once I'm in bed, I try to not get on social media or get on any systems because I will stay up and just watch. What? Holy shit. Well, congratulations. Damn. Congrats, man. That's dope. That's really cool. Yeah, I hope that you're starting to see a lot of success coming through as you're doing it. Yeah, I try to do those late nights. I think if I get like bored or something like that, I might pop on there and start doing some of those. Yes, I have. And he's got one that he did. I'm trying to think of the one. It was the clown from the Violator clown, who's one of my favorite designs that Todd ever did. Um, that was a dope piece. And then he also had what's his name? I'm trying to think of. I know it's from the Terrifier. That clown. He has a picture of, but it's the teeth and the eyes that really are like the poppy part of the designs. That's cool. Not Pennywise, Art the Clown. That's really cool. I'm glad you're doing that for them. Speaking of which, I have a giveaway I have to send out. I forgot all about it. Like I did it on my first show and I forgot to send it out. I got to do that. Okay. I'm having a hard time seeing how this is. What I did was get you tonight. The man was on surveillance by the British service. Which means I don't know if I can trust you or not. I couldn't care less. But I do care Yeah, I did a giveaway a long time ago. Well, that makes sense why you're able to do that kind of stuff. I used to be a night owl. Um, I do giveaways from time to time. I haven't done one in a while. I was waiting to get, I'm trying to find out the days where I have, more people, because then it makes it more fun, and it's not just, one person, the same person getting the giveaway every time. From time to time, I've gotten up like at a clip. I think the most I've ever gotten was probably like maybe 12 to 13 people at one time. Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm going to do, and I've been kind of fighting against it, but I think I'm going to do, some of those whatnot promos, just so that way it gets the word out to people that I'm actually doing stuff like that. So I think that's my next move. But I have to promote the giveaway versus just, putting it right on the show. Yeah, I know the giveaway went really well the first time I did it. But when I do my giveaway, I mean, I want to do a couple of them, and I want to give away stuff that I have. So I don't want to do like commissioned art, because that's what I did last time. Like I did I was doing art live, and I was giving away that piece. This time I want to have some pre-done work and be like, okay, this is what you're going to get. So whether it be a sketch card, whether it be, you know, a comic or something like that, stuff that, I feel like would make sense. I'm also looking to do like a surprise box. So, people would um like purchase it. Like say the box, like we would do like a not a like a not a raffle, but a um like an auction. Yeah, so I do an auction where I do like a big piece. And it would be a surprise. Nobody would know what it is, but it would be something worth of value. So I've done some cool stuff where like this would be an example of one of the auction items. Let me pull it up here. Close that. Artwork. Oh, I gotta fix that. Where are you? Oh, you're way down there. Oops. Close that out. Yeah. All right, so like this would be an auction item here. So like that would be an auction item. Yeah, I wish I could do that. One day I'll get there. But the next part that I'm going to do, the next step I'm looking to do is I want to do these cards, but I want to do them painted. So I'm going to do it with like acrylic marker. So that's my next thing. So I might do a little small like giveaway where people get stuff like that. All right, let me see something really quickly here. My bro reached out to me. Okay, I guess that. And all right. How you doing, the Ink Nerd? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this Omega Red, he used to be one of my favorite characters to draw. This is somebody you know, huh? Okay. All right, so light source is coming this way. So let's just gotta have the shadow side. Well, that's cool. I'm glad. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, getting people, those old like holographic, like the old Marvel ones, or getting them like even the cards that were in the X Force comics, the ones that were from Wizard, all those things, people that that weren't exposed to that, getting people those opportunities, that would be really cool. Yeah, I want to get, if I'm going to do a giveaway, I want to make it worthwhile. That's what it ends up being. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be one of those. Yeah, I know that one's definitely going to be the one I have to do it with. I don't understand why Pokemon is that way, but that's definitely what I'm going to do it for. I have a friend of mine that, I mean, he's like a major collector, so he's working with me to come up with characters that really would pop off and would do well in that arena. Oh, that's really cool. See, connections. That's a good one. Good ideas. See, I always get a lot of knowledge in here. Ideas I would never think of doing. Let's see here. Somebody sent me something. I don't want to end it. Shoot, what's going on here? Okay. Holy crap, 2 years? Like you were darn near the inception. And you got in at a good time. Yeah, I wish I had known about this a while ago and kind of understood how it worked, because when I heard about it, it was more or less, people were just selling their stuff. And it didn't pop up to me until I saw a Ryan Otley piece and he was doing his on Whatnot. I'm like, oh, I got to check this shit out. This looks cool. And then I understood how it was working, but it took me a little while to, get my footing for this. And at the time, I wanted to do it for a long time. Like it had been 6 months or so that I wanted to do it, and unfortunately, I just didn't have time because I worked um, at a school that was an hour away from my house, and then I would come home, and I still want to spend time with my family, so I had to make a choice at that point. So it was either try to do this stream and lose more time with my family, or give it time, wait for my other job to go, and then go from there. Yes, I am on Discord. I'm actually on a Discord server through my school right now, but I am on Discord. It should be under Professor Grant or something like that. I believe that's what my Discord name is. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. I do need to make another profile that's exclusive just to my artwork stuff. Yes, thank you. I really do appreciate that. That's so helpful of you. Thank you. All right, so I think Omega Red, outside of the chunkier lines, I think he's done. Yeah, you have no idea how much I appreciate that. I wish there were more people that did that. I will say this much: like when I go to artist alleys and stuff like that, people are so willing to help. However, outside of those channels, I don't see a lot of people wanting to help each other. It's like they feel like they have the magic sauce and they won't spread it and help other people. Like I remember going to a convention and there was this girl that came there and she had like tons and tons of prints, and we're like, how the fuck is she supporting all that? So we talked to the girl, really nice girl, and come to find out, one, her family she came from a family of a whole lot of money, but that wasn't the whole thing. She lived in New York, so she had a printer out of New York, and she would order her stuff from there and have it shipped wherever she was going. So she would literally get prints for between 25 cents to $1. High quality prints, like we're talking 11 by 17, 25 cents to $1, and that's including shipping, right? And she told us where to go. It's called this place called Best Value Copy out of New York. Used them for years. I would go to FedEx, got a less quality piece, like I'm talking like paper, like thin paper, and it would cost me $1.50. This was very heavy weighted paper. It was like thick, almost like this card kind of thick, 110-pound weighted paper. And people had nice, glossy, beautiful prints that they would get. So that's an example where people helped out people. The name of the company is called Best Value Copy. I use them to print my books. Another company that you can use, like if you're looking to do graphic novels, the company's called Comics, and that's Comix Wellspring. And yes, that is correct for the name. So This is the other one. Like if you're doing books and stuff like that, this is the one I recommend. Where's my? Let me open up my show. That's yesterday's. I don't want that one. Hold on for one quick second. Let me pull this up here. Put this in the chat so everybody can use this. So Comics Wellspring, if you're doing any graphic novels or books, you can go through them. The minimum quantity for Comics Wellspring is 25 books. They're very well priced, and that's full color comics. If you're using best value copy, they're print on demand. So you don't have a base. Look, I'll give the secrets. I mean, it's not really a secret. You're just, again, we're all helping each other out. It's not like all of us have like these unlimited budgets that we can play with. Oh yeah, when I come up with a design I want to use, yeah, I would definitely love to make my own, like my own border and all that kind of good stuff. The best part I like about this is that I can break borders, and a lot of them have the blue line. So unfortunately, the blue line doesn't mix well with this, so you see through it. So I prefer making my own as of right now. But one day I will get to that point where I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna do this. But I think what I'll do one day is I'm going to take all these and I'm going to turn them into a card set. I mean, I will always say, like, my favorite card set that I've ever purchased was the Jim Lee X-Men set, hands down, because it was all done by one artist. Yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, I remember back in the day, I made prints for Ninja Turtles because my sons were obsessed with the Ninja Turtles. So I ended up making a little set because I didn't want like regular size Ninja Turtles because they were kids. I wanted to make them kid style. So I made littles of the Ninja Turtles, and that idea took off. People were like, there was some girl that actually took my idea and used it for other stuff, but um, it's okay. I did it first. It helped her out, so I have no ill will towards her. There we go. No, there's no apologies needed. I mean, this is when I think about it, like this is what I did. So I made this, like that was what I made, and then she saw that and she's like, "Oh, I like that cutesy style," but in all honesty, I did this style because I I couldn't do chibis. I don't like the look of the chibis when they were doing them because they would always have big heads, little bodies. That wasn't my style. But that's okay. It's perfectly fine. I more or less look at it like this. I'm setting a trend when I do things, or whenever I see another artist do something, they're setting a trend. And that's good because you know it's working because people bite the idea. I mean, Joe Mad is a really good example of that because he was part of that whole group of people that came out, and all of a sudden we started getting this more anime style look in Americanized comics. Even the color palettes were very vibrant like that. Well, look, if I could do like some of these people, um, like Jake Parker and his whole thing with the Inktober, like if I was to do a set like this and somebody was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. Let me go and try that." That would be really cool. What's up? All right, so that's two. Let's go ahead and get this guy going here. I try. I'm going to try my best to do what I can. I don't know if I like this mantis. Let's see if I can try a different pose with her. And let me move that back because that's not cool. Let's do that. All right, so let me see if I can kind of take a look at some martial arts poses. I mean, the other option is that I just move on and to come back to it. Yeah, I mean, I thank you for letting them know that, Gabe. Yeah, I haven't said it today, but this whole thing is part of a 1,000 card sketch card series. So right now, I think now I'm down to 83 because I just knocked out those two. I would like to get the marble set done before the end of the month. We're gonna see. All right, so let's do this. I might change this altogether. We're gonna see in just a second. Because I don't know much about Mantis. That's the problem, and I think she looks very masculine there, so I don't like it. Oh, it's. I mean, I can tell you this much: it's more than 83 cards plus commissions for this so far. Yeah, well, I don't. The body type looks weird. Like I'm okay with the face, but I'm just not. I'm not digging it. I'm really not digging it. So I'm going to hold on to this card just in case, but I'm going to try something different on another card. How are you doing this morning? I'm not sure how to pronounce your username, so I'm just going to call you M. So if I kind of knew a little bit more about Mantis, that might make things a little easier. I know she's able to do mind control. All right, I think I know what I want to do. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to change her pose a little bit. All right, here we go. We're going to start this one from scratch. We're going to the main thing is I have to make sure her little things are popping out. Okay. Okay. And we're going to give her a little bit of hips. And go like that. All right, so we got that. Okay, and now we're going to put the arm in here and then foreshorten it, give her elbow right there, and arm. Oh man, my stuff stopped. Okay, so I didn't record my process, so let me fix this real quick here. Get that back, and I think we'll be right there. Perfect. And hips. And then I'll give her her hair, utilizing the style that I use for this one. And I'm going to get my reference for Mantis. She's got to kind of find a style for her look. Okay. She's got kind of more of a foresty kind of look to her. Okay. Very large eyes. Okay. So going to have a belt for her. When I utilize some of the look from the Marvel's Rivals, because I like that design a little bit more. So hopefully I should be able to get this knocked out here in just a sec. Put that right above her chest, and then that might not be the right spelling. So yeah, I brought up the term chibi in reference to the style of the design. So that was more or less the. So it wasn't so much a bust. It was um, the character would be very small. So a miniaturized version of a specific character. They would typically have a large head and smaller features, like smaller body parts. It more or less went to like an Asian look. Um, yeah, but I mean, to give you an example, I'll show you what one. I'll show you what a chibi looks like. You've seen it probably, but these are more. This is a chibi. Those are chibis. Very fast, very simple shapes to them. That's kind of like a form, but this is more of the actual style here. They have big eyes. You can see like that. That's more the pop figure. The chibis are like in the middle. And it was just never my jam to do that kind of stuff. So I just never got on that train. However, I did want to come up with a style that was more something that worked for me. Yeah, that style is very unique. What's up, Wood Nerd? Yeah, I mean the really the only part like the on the chibis um on the chibi part the feel is like in the look of the eyes of the character, the features. So they have more of those really pointed um chins, the cheeks are a little bit more defined, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not my thing either. I mean, everybody's got their things that they would like to add to. I honestly, when I was doing it, I was trying to learn how to do a style like that, but again, you take what you learn and you kind of turn it to your design style. No, I just don't think it's something that I can work with. Again, if you've ever taken a look at like Scotty Young, so when he does his little littles characters, that is designed for his design style. It's unique to him. So even though it's got the little character look to it, it fits and feels like something different because it's uniquely made for him. And not everybody can do that. But style comes with your implementation of your unique designs. Like when I draw, people like my wife will tell people like I know my husband drew that. I knew my husband painted that because there's a certain look and feel to the things that I do. In the chibi stuff, people that are learning how to draw, they they are really good at that because they understand those shapes. Like when I was little and when you were little, we kind of like probably cater towards like Looney Tunes and um like Disney stuff because those were our simple shapes. If I was to tell somebody, "Hey, I need you to draw this Disney character or Looney Tune character," they'd be like, "No." Mm-mm. They'd be like all anime all day long because those are the shapes that they understand, and that's why the chibi style worked out so well for people because it was a cheat. You didn't have to know like complete anatomy. All you had to know is that somebody had legs, arms, and know where to put them. So was it lazy? Yes, it was, but people made it their own and made it actually pretty cool looking. I knew girls and other people that would draw that kind of stuff, and they made them into stickers and stuff like that. So they made it their own, and it actually became for quite a while it had its own trend going. So I'm not going to poo poo on somebody else's design style. I think it's pretty cool that somebody was able to create something so unique, and it worked for a lot of people. Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. I am 100% in that realm. Yeah, um I think some people might take it as I'm you know I'm poo pooing on their stuff, but I'm not. I My thing is that some people cater towards other things, and that's fine. Like in comic books, I don't like the realistic look to comics. I prefer illustrative looks because I want it to look like a comic. I don't need to look at real life. I'm trying to indulge in the fantasy. But other people might look at it and be like, "Oh, I love this kind of look. This is great. This is amazing." Not for me. What's that? What am I looking at? The change? Now, look, I mean, trendsetter, I'm good with it. Yep. So this is my new version of Mantis, and I think it came out better than the original one. Let's see, do I want to have her? She's got big eyes. That's the thing. This will be the first one in a while where I've done like eyeballs on my characters. Which picture is this? Yes. All right. I think that looks good. I think she's looking good. That's a way big change. It's a better change. Now she doesn't look so masculine. She looks a little more feminine. Yeah, it's a big. See, so I got some sage advice when I was watching a who was it? J. Scott Campbell. He was doing an interview. I wish I could remember what interview it was, but he's like, you need to stop noodling at a piece of artwork for numerous amounts of time because you're making it worse on the stuff and you're just frustrating yourself. So if you are struggling and you know it's not working, then you need to stop and reset, do something and do a new version. So you can see like this is one of those situations where I stopped and I knew something was wrong, something was off. I knew it. I kept elements, but I changed it. And then like I wish I had my Hulk one, but like when I did the Hulk, had to reset that one too. And I'd rather reset than keep on struggling. Sub Dapins. There probably is. I wouldn't doubt it. You quote some DMX. Yeah, I just I learned that I don't want to struggle anymore. I really want to just create cool stuff. And if I see it going the wrong way, I'm going to correct it because I don't want people getting bad crap. I'd rather give them great work. People know when you're doing bad work. Like they can feel it. Okay. Well, you're very welcome. How you doing, V? Welcome. Haven't seen you in a minute. Well, I'm glad you're learning a lot. I mean, if you can, once you start implementing some of these skills and merging them with your style of artwork, I can't wait to see the end results because I know they're going to be awesome. I got to remind myself to find that guy that does the Transformers watercolors so you can see his work. Oh my God, it's so good. He charges $1,200 for an 11 by 17, but he deserves every dollar. He did a Devastator. I was like, if I had the money right now, I would definitely buy his stuff on like right now. Let me take a look. That is cool. I love that border. That border's dope. And that styling of Modoc is fire. Yeah, you listen. I'm going to tell you right now, Gabe. Please get yourself on Whatnot. These are so good. Your ability to do perspective and all that stuff, it's really fire. So good. Yes, you definitely need to get on there and do it very soon. I do not see anybody else doing what you're doing, so you might want to take advantage while you can. Oh yeah, and I can see why. The fact that they're not straight on and the look of the design is perfect. I can see how they sold so quickly. You have a very good eye for layout or better composition. And even though it's a simple composition, it still hits with people. It very much resonates with people. So I don't know how much more convincing I got to get you to do it, because I think you would do very well. Well, the Modoc looks insane. I love the look and style of it. And what did the wife say? Is she in agreement? Is she like, yeah, I've been telling you that for a long time. Look, I am pretty sure that your wife is going to be like, and why are we having this conversation? Like, it was like a no brainer. Just tell me when you're going to be doing it. That's that way we've been playing around it. No, there is no startup cost. So the way that Whatnot works is you'll set the prices for your product, and you'll set a shipping cost per product. So you need to be aware of what you're shipping. So it kind of works out to, let me see something. I'll tell you exactly like the percentage that they're taking. So after after shipping, and their percentage is kind of like 13%, because they take care of shipping for you. You get your shipping label, so a lot of the logistical parts are all taken care of. And you might end up adjusting your pricing. Like, I know when I was first doing these cards, I was selling them for way less, but I was doing way less quality. I wasn't adding color and all these other little things to it. So you got to really look at, what is your time worth. My wife really made me aware of that, because I was I have a new thing I'm doing, like a new art that I'm investing in, and I've been doing it for a while, but I've been really pushing hard to get better at this style of art. And now it's to the point where people are really starting to see the quality of what I'm doing, and they're getting wowed by it. I will show it on here later on, but I'm not going to say what it is right now, because I don't want somebody to grab it just yet. But anyway, um, with that particular type of art, I am just building up that arena. Yeah, that would be really cool, but I can't hold my breath that long. Uh, but the quality is going to definitely be there. I mean, people are going to be shocked. But I've had to, really dive into it and go hard. So the ultimate thing is that people are really liking it, and my wife was like, "Hey, so what does it cost you to do?" Or sorry, not cost. What? How much time does it take you to do one of these pieces? So I told her one took me like 36 hours to do. And no, it's not computer art. And so I was like, man, look, what am I going to charge per hour? So I gave her a number, and we looked it up, and it came out to, I think it was like a substantial amount of money. And when you start talking in the thousands for your artwork, and you're like, is somebody going to buy that? You're already putting doubt into your mind. And you do that, you're already kind of setting yourself up to lose. So you never want to do that. You know what your value is. You know that you work hard, and you know that this is unique work. So listen, if somebody doesn't buy it the first go around, somebody eventually will see your work and they will buy it. So when Picasso was first doing his stuff, when Rembrandt was doing his, when Todd McFarlane was doing his, everybody starts somewhere. You're not always going to get these obnoxious amounts of money when you first start off, but you do need to set a value for yourself and don't undervalue the work that you're doing. So if it takes you an hour and a half to do a card, and I'm not talking on a stream, just in regular every day, um, no worries. Not every day, but you're just doing it like at your desk, and it only takes you like an hour to do one. How much time, or how much per hour do you think that you would charge for something like that? And then you put that number on there. It's always better to go down than go up, because people might be like, "What are you doing?" Especially if it's a radical move. All right, so that's going to be black. Yeah, I want people to be successful, but the only way that they're going to do it is like they have to really see good returns on their investment. Okay, that's looking good. And I think what I want to do for her hair, I think I'm going to see about changing her hair up a little bit. Maybe add. Oh, so no, no, no. I don't get my sketch cards from anybody. I make my own. So the way I make them is I'll go to the comic book store, grab a whole bunch of backboards, the white backboards that you put on your comics, and I'll cut them down. Oh, comic book covers. You can actually, and this might actually work out really well for you, because this company, if you buy it by $25 or more, they don't charge you shipping. So it's a company out of Florida. It's called Famous Faces and Funnies, and they will literally send you screenshots of what's in their store, like what they have in their inventory, and they're very, very good. Famous Faces and Funnies. That guy, his name is Rick. He's the owner, but you might from time to time see him, but he's got a fantastic staff, and all of his staff is super knowledgeable. So even if you got a call up there, they will find books. Like, I've literally given them lists of books that I want. I got part of them, and then they would go like, hey, yeah, you still want that book? We can go and see if we can find it. And they have connections to comic book stores all over the nation, and they will find the books, and then they'll get in contact with you and be like, hey, you still want this? Because we'll order it up for you and get it for you. Fantastic shop. Like, it's my favorite shop. How you doing, Jilly? Welcome to the stream. I'm working on a sketch card series, 1,000 sketch cards. And we're just getting to the end of the Marvel set. And that's the first set. 1,000 sketch cards, 10 categories, 100 cards per category. But yeah, that comic book shop, I'll promote them any day of the week because they take good care of their customers. I'm not saying that the other ones don't, but the experience I've had with them has been fantastic. There's one in Pittsburgh that I used to go to as well. They were the same kind of way, but I don't remember if they're still open or not. But I went to them and I ordered, like, my friend was really big into Green Lantern, and because Green Lantern at the time wasn't doing really well sales wise, um, they had to just unload them. So I said, "Hey, do you have these books?" And they're like, "Yep." And they're selling them for $2 a piece. And they could have sold them to me for like $5 to $6 a book, but I ended up getting them all and ordered them and shipped them over to my friend. He had them in his hands within a week. But that was from the same mall that the Walking Dead, not the Walking Dead, the Living Dead was made on. Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to find places to help people out because these companies, they only flourish when the community helps them. And comic book shops will go to the wayside if people do not frequent them. And comic book shops will never grow if they don't have a good reputation and word of mouth doesn't push them. You know, this comic book shop has grown over the last, I think my relationship with them has been almost, I think it's been 15 years now. They have gone from a little shop, and they used to be inside of a Singular Wireless cell phone store. They went from that to a Hollywood movies store, and then they went into a theater, like a movie theater, that was converted into a gaming arena, like a gaming area and a comic book shop. And then they went from that to a city mat or a mattress company store. They converted that into a massive comic book store. So he's been able to really parlay things, even through like COVID and all that kind of good stuff. He really pushed through. And I can't just give it to just him. It's him and his staff that are phenomenal. But they also have a stream that they do here on Whatnot, and they do like Pokemon, not Pokemon. They do pop figurines. They do old comics, all of that stuff. And I think they do that once a week now. They used to do it like 4 times a week, but they're doing it at least once a week. Okay, so it looks like she's done there. Is she zoomed out? I can't tell. Let me see something. Nope, she's zoomed in. I gotta go buy that light this week. Yeah, so I would definitely tell you to do that. I mean, that I would recommend it to you to do that. The orders will get to you within a week, just so you know. Okay. All right, so now it's time to pop the border in place. Well, hello, small frog. Welcome to the stream. Give you the lowdown. I'm working on a 1,000 card sketch card series. So 1,000 sketch cards, 10 categories, 100 cards per category. Yeah, this is my insane mission for the year. But I'm down for every bit of it. As of right now, I believe we're down to we're up to 87 cards, so 13 left in just the marble set. Over 100 cards have been made because they're cards that are outside of this series that have been made. But 83 just in this category. Or sorry, 87 in this category. And once I finish off Mantis, we'll be 12 closer to wrapping this up. And this morning we did Nightcrawler and what's the other character? Omega Red. So I'll show those off here in just a second. Okay, so earlier. So here is Nightcrawler. And then here is Omega Red. So those are just the ones that I've done today. I did 2 yesterday. 3 yesterday. So I'll show those off here. I can go through the book if you guys need me to go through it so you can see what's up. Okay. There we go. So Mantis is ready to rock and roll. I just have to get her colors in place, and she is donezo. Okay, I want to get this in here. So we'll put the hair in place. So that looks good. Okay, and we just got to put one little piece right here by her eye. There we go. All right, so now we got to go ahead and pop in a lot of green, and then we should be good to go. So I have to find my green marker. Here's my green. Okay. So she's got green here, here, there. Right there on her stomach, on her chest, arms. And we're going to use multiple greens to make this work. So this will be our base green. Okay. Realistic painter, yes. I feel like here's my thing. When it comes to artists that do realism, when you do realism on a computer, it's different than doing realism with paint. When you're doing it with paint, and it's tactile. There's a texture, there's a toothiness to the designs. Unfortunately, when you are doing it with when you're doing it with a computer, unless you know how to make the tools do that and replicate it, it's not the same. It's 100% not the same. People will say it is, but it's not. It's not. But it takes a real artist, like a really good artist, to fake people out to do that. It is not easy. Okay, let's put this in here. Yeah, Alex Ross is a very different kind of player. Yeah, Alex Ross is one of the very few artists that I will really kind of give a pass on realistic art, because that dude he's a fine artist. That's what his training was. So he was taught in realism, but the other part that he's really good at storytelling through his art. So you can literally turn off all the text, all the dialogue, take out all the action. I mean, take out all of the action actually, and he's very good at showing very articulate characters. But unfortunately, Alex Ross does not do a lot of his art like he used to. Mainly because the work that he does, it takes so much time to do that. Like his paintings take hours to do, sometimes days, depending on what he's doing. Well, he does a lot of character studies, and if you get any of his art books, like he's got some books where it kind of like breaks down how he does stuff. He did one with Batman, and he also did one with Wonder Woman. But you get to see his breakdowns, and they're so good. I mean, he shows you how he builds up his shadows, how he creates his designs. Like he'll set up photographs of himself or photos of his friends, and he'll recreate those designs. But he literally is making like shots, because sometimes in his head he can't get the perspective, but if he's able to shoot it, he gets the designs that he wants. So in essence, he is a graphic designer because he is designing the look and feel of what he wants to do. Being able to capture emotion in a realistic style is way different than doing that in a comic book based style. Like your lighting, your line work, all you know are part of that. Prisma. I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at some of the like screenshots and stuff, but like there are um there are bits of Kingdom Come that there's an old man, and I can't remember if he says that the old man is like a family member of his that he took pictures of, or a person that he knows, but it's somebody that he's aware of, and it's just so unique in the designs of his work. Just to the emotional feels when he's talking to Spectre, it's just so it's beautiful. Like his lighting when he shows Spectre, because the Spectre in his designs is more like a ghostly figure. It's it's like magic. Let me, because her hand has got these gloves on it. There we go. Light coming from this way. Okay, so I gotta put the shadow on here. Yeah, 100%. Yes, his work is phenomenal. Yeah, he's definitely in that realm, if not one of the originals. Yeah, just a great artist. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I did the research on that, but I'm pretty sure in his documentary he goes over that. And I have to get the documentary so I can see all those little bits that I want to know about. I mean, like I said, I gave away a copy of that years ago to a friend of mine that wanted to learn how to draw, because I thought his, just studying his work would be a good place to start for that person. It was a really good place for me. I wanted to learn how to do what he did, but I didn't want to do realism. I just wanted to learn how to do the emotional aspects that he did. Okay. Yeah. Those are those little things, like you think about it, like it's almost like he's got to yell to intensify the laser. Almost like when somebody's doing like a martial arts move, they're releasing energy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop after this one because I gotta get my day started. Okay, I think that's looking good. Yeah, I mean, I got corrected, and not that I'm not mad about it at all. So the other day when I was doing my artwork, Kay was online, and she was reminding me I missed a couple of lines on here, and that's good because she if she hadn't said that, I would have definitely not had them on there. So when I was doing, I can't remember what character I was doing, one of the characters, and she told me, "Hey Marcus, you forgot like a spot on the eye, and there was something else that I forgot." And she corrected me on it, which is good. I mean, I'm glad that she did because it just added to the quality of the piece. Yeah, that was Kay. I'm pretty sure you were on the stream the other day on that one. Yep. Look, I'm waiting for the day that I'm going to see your work up here. I know it's only a matter of time. Okay, I think she's looking good. Well, I hope so. I mean, it was pretty dope to have her come through. Like meeting her the first time, I was like, I didn't. She just seemed like she was just like a regular person that came through, just random. And when she came through, I was like, okay, well, we had a conversation for like I think it was about 45 minutes or so, and she was walking her dog and all this kind of good stuff. And I said, hey, what do you do? And she tells me I'm an artist too, and I stream and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't know how good she was until I saw her doing. She was doing a design for a tattoo, and her work captured my eye because she was doing line work. And for me, when I can see somebody do some dope line work, it's very intriguing. And she brought the heat when it came to doing that piece. I was like, this is legit. This is so good. She was so good because it was so subtle on what she was doing. She was doing like fine line with reds and this iris. That would be cool if she did that. But I learned a lot, from all the people that I've had a chance to talk to. But you know, I'm glad that people will, you know, help each other out. And again, like I said, when you get on here, I'm definitely gonna check you out. Definitely got to promote you. I think we cover these light green eyes. Oh, shoot. Did not mean to do that. All right. Not have that pop off again. Let's not do that again. That was not cool. Okay, so we're going to put green into her eyes. A very subtle green, and then we're going to do green for her lips. Okay. Okay. All right, so we went light with that, and now we're going to find, I got to find my light brown. Are you off to work right now, Gabe? So I'm hoping you're going to have a good one today. Get some good students in there. Okay, we're going to go with brown again. All right, I think that looks good. Now I just got to get the hand. And I got to put the green into her hair. And that should be the last little bits. Hold on a second. Yeah, for Zeta. I meant to tell you that. So when we were talking about like realistic artists, so Frank Frazetta, even though he didn't do comics, his work was one of those pieces that I used to love too. Yes. I actually remember that from when I would watch those on on morning, right before morning cartoons. I would get those puzzles. I love those designs. Completely agree on that one. Okay, I think she looks good. I'm gonna keep her simple like that. I think she looks really, really good. She came out fantastic. I'm very happy with her. All right, so that makes 3. We're good. Got another one to the books. All right, so that's those 3. Who else do we have on here? Do I have anybody else like pre-sketched? No, I do not. But I do have other cards. And I know I have other mock-ups, so I can look those up. Oh, I can do Punisher. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this one going. right, so we're gonna try these out. Try this look. See how this looks. Give him this little headband. And then all right. I'm just doing this roughy for this because I only have a little bit of time. I only have 12 minutes to get this done, so we're just going to get him set up. So this is Punisher that I'm working on. Oh, am I? Thank you very much for letting me know. I was just... Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody draws the Punisher a little bit different. In reference to what his like is he a like in the show or like just in general? What's going on, Amber? You know, if it's from a, you know, do I think he is a? I want to convey the soldier aspect of him. That's what I'm trying to. Not so much the vigilante, but I want to convey that he is a soldier. Because at the end of the day, he is a soldier, and when you think of a soldier, they have missions, right? And their goal is to complete the mission. So I always want to, like, when I look at him, I really want that to be the driving force of the look for the character that I do, or the version of this character that I do. So, like, if I was to ever get a chance to draw this guy for real, I would hope whoever my storyteller is giving me more like a spy action versus putting him in the city. I would prefer to do like he's on the battlefield and he's commanding a force. Like I would like to see him as a patriot going through his learning to become a great warrior that now is broken because of circumstance. Um, in comics, um, I don't really have a lot of comic writers that I follow. I just I like certain storylines. Um, and again, I go back to when I was collecting comic books seriously. So when I look at old X-Men lines that they were doing, like when Chris Claremont was running it, those are the things that I really enjoy because it was a through story. Like you had to read multiple comics like you do now, but it was only during specific comics, and these story arcs were beautifully made. When Alex Ross, and I'll go back to him because he did his book and he his did the art. When he thought about that, he was looking at it from a grander scale. You know, he was thinking about what does Batman look like if he is retired? And that's fun to think about. Even when we look at cases like Invincible, they thought about what is it like to be a superhero child that deals with trauma and the things that happen with that. There's a lot of things that happen with that child. Having a father that beats the hell out of him and has to deal with his father coming back, you know, and how do you deal with a father that you find out that he's supposed to take over the world, but you don't really understand the full breadth of what's going on until further down the road. And your father has to go through this redemption phase. And then how does that affect his mother? So there's a lot of aspects to that particular story. When I look at Spawn, that's another one where you have a soldier that becomes a mercenary that takes on a job and the job goes south. He goes to hell. And what happens when you make a deal with the devil? Well, you come back to hell, but I mean, you come back to earth, but you're dead. You're a corpse. But yet, I gave you some power, so if you want to use this power, you can, but the power's got limitations to it. You know, those kind of things are crazy when you think about it. But those are all parts of the whole, you know, storyline. And when Todd McFarlane wrote that, that was a simple process, and then he had to expand upon that. And that's when Kirkman came in and really like put his spin on it and just knocked it out the park. Okay. All right. So that's where I'm going to stop for the day. Um, Gabe, I hope you have a great day today, buddy. Have great success with your kids or with your students. I hope they knock it out of the park. And really, let me know when you get that channel going. But otherwise, I will see you Monday. I should be back up here at 7 on Monday. So that would be 4 o'clock your time. So, whenever you get up, I'll be on. So you have yourself a good one, and I will see you later. Have a good one.